Welcome to the Thrive Forever Fit Show. I'm your host, Jay Nixon, and this show is all about disruption, inspiration, and transformation. My purpose and passion behind doing this show is to give you information, resources, and knowledge to help you move to the next level of life, to help you live that life of abundance and awesomeness that I know that you desire and I know you deserve. And so what we're going to do with each and every episode is bring you an action-packed, detailed oriented, systematic approach to living your best life. Now, today's episode is sponsored by Thrive Elite Greens. Thrive Elite Greens is the best tasting, most electrifying, immune boosting supplement on the market today. I use it every single day to break my fast. One serving provides you with 12 to 15 servings of fruits and vegetables. And if you're anything like me, you don't even get close to the amount of fruits and veggies that you need on a daily basis. All you have to do is go to thriveforeverfit.com, click the shop button, scroll down. You'll see the Elite Greens along with all the other supplements that I offer. I promise you it is delicious, nutritious, and amazing for your body and your immune system as a whole. We're coming into that time of year, that season where people start to get a little down in the dumps with their immune systems, sicknesses and illnesses and all of those things. So do everything you can to fortify that with the nutrients you need to make yourself as healthy as you can possibly be. All right, guys, let's get to the show. Today, I have got a training for you that is going to blow your mind and be pivotal in the understanding of your success and your success journey. If you've heard me speak at all, you're going to understand what I'm talking about once we dive into today's session. Today's training is your inner critic versus your inner coach, or your inner coach versus your inner critic. If you guys know anything about me, you know I refer to these two metaphorical voices as the champ and the chump. So the champ is my inner coach. The chump is my inner critic. And so here's the deal. Your inner coach is that voice inside of you that confidently believes that you can be, do, and have everything in life you desire. When life's going amazing, your inner coach, or the champ for me, is screaming the loudest. He's the loudest voice I hear. Now, your inner critic, or the chump, is the voice that we listen to when adversity or challenges arise. It's the voice we hear more often that keeps us from believing we're not capable of being who we desire to be. Now, let's talk about the inner critic first, because this is the one that most of you guys are highly focused on. For me, again, I call him the chump. The champ is that inner coach who's got my back. He wants me to win, and he's the one I'm always chasing to be the best version of myself. That inner chump's the one I'm trying to push that voice down as far as it'll possibly go. But for most people, they get uber focused on the criticism of themselves. So your inner critic, for most people, the inner critic, aka the chump, speaks the loudest. This is the voice that discourages us and keeps us from taking risk. You might recognize this voice if it tells you things like this: you're not talented enough. You're not brave enough. You're not skinny enough. You're not fit enough. You're not strong enough. You're not smart enough. Any and all of those things, or a combination of those things, is where the inner critic really shines. That's when he likes to really hammer down on you, he or she, so that she can keep you in that place and space where you are and keep you from going after the things in life that you really do deserve and desire. This is the voice that makes us lose sight of who we are. And the voice that discourages us. And it actually encourages us to take the easier, more comfortable route, the expected route, the route that we're already on, the route that we already know what results we're going to get from. See, the critic's mission is to limit your potential, to see ourselves in contrast to the ideal life that we have chosen for ourselves, and to make us strive for something that we're not, something that we don't even want. I often say that people stay in lives, people stay in jobs, relationships, bodies that they don't even love. Why do you think that is? It's because their inner critic is driving the bus. Their inner critic is controlling their thoughts, their words, their actions, every single thing they do, the inner critic is control of. Now let's shift gears. Let's talk about the inner coach, or for me, I call him the champ. And when you think about your inner coach, I want you to start them to think about him as your personal mentor. The coach can be a little bit harder to hear because remember that critic voice is super loud. It's always there. It's always trying to push you down. And sometimes you got to listen a little harder to hear that coach's voice. And while the critic shouts for attention, the coach waits to be asked before offering direction. And what I mean by that is it's situational. So when you're in that moment, I'll use myself as an analogy. Oftentimes I call upon the champ or my inner coach while I'm working out. You guys, some of you guys have seen workout videos from me before, and you'll see me talk to myself. I'll be mouthing words, but nothing's coming out. I'm actually having a conversation with my inner coach. I'm talking to the champ. I'm telling myself I'm coming to get you. Like, yes, I'm going to follow your lead. Yes, I'm going to do the things I know I'm capable of doing. Yes, I'm strong enough. Yes, I'm good enough. Yes, I can push a little bit harder. That's me connecting with that inner mentor, with that inner coach. You've got to be able to do the very same thing. You see, because your inner coach, the champ, he or she sees failure as situational and temporary. They see it as an opportunity. They see it as a challenge that you're going to overcome and then become better because of. Your inner coach encourages you to put yourself out there. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Your inner coach helps you grab a hold of what it is that you so desperately want. And it pushes you into those fires without hesitation because it knows on the other side, that's where the win is. That's where the victory is. That's where the success is. That's where you deserve to be. Your inner coach pushes you to be the best version of yourself. And that's why I call him the champ. And my brain, the way my brain works is I think of my inner coach as that person that I'm chasing. It's the me in the future that I deserve and desire to be that's continually a little bit better than me, a little bit faster than me, works a little bit harder than me, has a little bit more than me. But I know if I keep going, I can be that because that is me. Your inner critic's the one that's trying to drag you down. Your inner critic's your past. It's the judgment. It's the self-criticism and the self-doubt that you have. That's your inner critic. And listen, while it's great to have real mentors, I'm your mentor. I'm your coach. You need real mentors and coaches. I have real life mentors and coaches, but my belief is that nobody knows you better than you know yourself. And there's no better coach in those situational moments because I can't call my coach or mentor during the middle of a workout. I can't call my coach or mentor during the middle of a speech when I'm on stage in front of 300 or 400 or 500 people. I've got to be able to call on that internal inner coach that's already in me. And only he or she can guide me out of that situation, being the most authentic version of myself because he knows me. The champ knows me better than I even know myself because the champ's who I'm trying to be. So let's talk about how do you access your inner coach? Because some of you are thinking, hey, man, this sounds awesome, Jay. This sounds beautiful. How did you create the champ? How do I quiet the inner critic? Well, first, let's focus on how we get to that place of understanding who our inner coach is. So we've got to figure out who is this person? It's you, but who are they? Who is that person you want to be? What do they do differently than you that you want to strive to be? So here's how I came up with the champ. I would find a quiet place. Could be your living room, could be your bedroom, could be your study, could be anywhere. Somewhere you can close your eyes and you can actually get clarity without distraction about what it is, your visionary self. Who are you in the future? And what I want you to do is I want you to start thinking of all the things you love and value about yourself. I want you to get lost in thinking about your gratitude, your past successes, your dreams, your goals, the excitement and zest you have for life, because that's how you're going to construct this inner coach, because your inner coach is focused on those things. Your inner coach is driven by gratitude. Your inner coach is successful beyond your dreams and beyond your visions, but that's what you're striving to be. Your inner coach has goals and dreams that you fit inside of. Your inner coach is excited about life, excited about the opportunity, excited to be the best version of you. So then I want you to, what feelings and emotions and energies are you experiencing? When I talk about that, gratitude, success, dreams, goals, excitement of life, I want you to actually feel the physicality of what do those emotions feel like? What does the energy feel like? What are you experiencing when you think about? When I think about the champ, he's bigger than me. He's stronger than me. He's faster than me. He's smarter than me. He's better looking than me. He does everything a little bit better than me. But then I remember that is me. That's a version of that I'm striving to be. So the energy and emotion I attach to that is excitement. It's happiness. It's attention. It's all the things. It's consistency and it's commitment. It's discipline. It's all those feelings. That's what I feel when I think about the champ. Number 3 is I want you to start to picture yourself in the future. I want you to picture your ideal self. I want you to picture yourself surrounded with people that love you, that you love. I want you to picture yourself with the things that bring you joy, the things that light up your soul, the things that give you energy. See, because that's the version of you that you need to be living in. So once you've got this image, I want you to start taking notes of the physical attributes. I want you to paint a detailed picture of what the champ, or whatever you call the better version, your inner coach that you come up with. What are they wearing? What does their hair look like? What does their surroundings look like? What does it feel like to be in that body? Where are they located? What are they doing? What are they eating? What does their physical body look like? What's their wealth look like? What's their health look like? Who are they surrounded with? Think about that. Think about all those things. What's the vision and version of that person? That's you in the future. You're going to create and construct that. The next, I want you to visualize a day in the life of this version of you. When do you get up? What's your morning routine look like? What's on the agenda for today? Are you working out? What does your gym look like? You guys know this. If you've heard this story about me before, the gym that I have now, the physical studio that I own, I manifested that in my mind for a year to 2 years before it actually came to fruition. I used to think about the future of what my personal gym would look like. And now that's Thrive Fitness Studio, Palm Desert, California. It's exactly what I thought it would be. And I visualized it so detailed that things are where they are, like machines in the gym are where I visualize them being. The doors where I visualized it being, the view from the gym is what I visualized it being. The crowd and the people that fill that gym are who I visualize filling that gym, the people I get to serve. So when you have a clear picture of who you desire to be, you've now met your inner coach. You've met the champ. You've met whatever version of you want to call that self. This is the ideal version of yourself in the future. It's the person that is guiding you through the decisions that you make. So I often ask myself, if I'm in any kind of situation, what would the champ do in this situation? What would the champ do to get us closer to being the person we deserve and desire to be? How would the champ respond? How would the champ think? How would the champ react? How would the champ behave? And if you start to do this, this is going to get you to the happiest version of who it is that you deserve to be. Because remember, it's you. So from this point on, you have the exact blueprint of the future design of who you are. And now all your decisions have to be predicated on chasing that champ, chasing that coach. Now, some of you guys are going to ask, what if I don't like what I see? What if when I do this visualization, Jay, what if when I try to create this version, what if the critic's a little louder than the champ? What if that's who I see? What if I can't actually get a picture of who it is that I really want to be? I'm going to be honest with you. When I first took this on myself, when I first started doing this exercise, I didn't think about my ideal physicality, my ideal self, my ideal wealth, my ideal happiness. But rather, I thought about the life that I had lived. I thought about my life today. I thought about all the struggles and the traumas and the tragedies that I'd gone through. And then I paused and thought, well, if I continue on this path, I know exactly what my life's going to look like. I don't have to have a future vision because I'm living my current reality. My current reality won't change unless I start to to think like I can be, do, have more, want more, desire more out of life. And so I knew at that moment that I had to redefine who I was going to let guide me. I was no longer going to let my inner critic guide me. So when I did, I started to visualize a little deeper and harder. There were aspects of that past life that were so disheartening to me that it actually springboarded me into making the ultimate decision that I had to create the champ. I had to create a bigger, bolder, more awesome version of who it is that I needed to be. And I stopped chasing the critic. I stopped listening to the critic. I put the critic in a box, put a lock on the box, and I started doing, being, and having, making decisions from the place of where I wanted to be rather than where I'd come from. So at first, if this exercise doesn't run smoothly for you, know that that's okay, and know that that's normal. And know that I want you to use that past critic. I want you to look him dead in the face and say, I'll have this no more. That is old. I am new. Goodbye. That's what you say to the inner critic. You look him straight in the face, her straight in the face, and you say, listen, that's old. I'm new. Goodbye. You put him in a box and you lock that box. By going through this exercise, you're going to start to create and see the version of your inner coach, your inner champ. And it's going to be the happiest version of you that you've ever seen. And so now that I'm comfortable understanding who the champ is, I'm no longer struggling to keep the promises and commitments that I make to myself. Because the champ, he's older, he's wiser. He represents all the things I love about myself, all the things that I love about life, all the things that I know I'm able to unleash and become is because of the person that I deserve and desire to be. And the better I get, the more I want. So I never actually catch the champ. Let's use workouts as an analogy. Champ always beats me. Champ always gets there first. And I'm okay with that because I know that's me in the future. And I know that I'm going to keep chasing the champ for as long as I live. Here's another thing I need you to understand, that time is precious. And so we've got to get that inner coach overriding that inner critic. We can't wait. We can't wait until we're so unhappy that we just can't stand it anymore. We've got to do it today. We've got to take charge of our lives and start looking through the lens of our ideal self, who it is we want to be. We've got to be proactive in this process. What time does your coach get up? What does your coach do in the morning? And that's how you make your decisions. If coach gets up at 4 a.m., you get up at 4 a.m., 3:59. If coach goes for a run in the morning, you go for a run in the morning. And you start pushing on coach. You start chasing the champ. You start applying pressure to the champ. And when you do that, everything will begin to change for you. Every move you make will be in the footsteps of your coach, and you'll be right on his tail. You'll be right on the champ's tail. And that's going to get you closer to the reality that you deserve, you desire, that you want to live. And when you're in any situation, when you're in any dilemma, any adversity, any challenge, any obstacle, you simply ask yourself, what would the coach do? Right? What would champ do right now? And that's how you're going to get to the places and spaces. Because remember, you got to have coaches, you got to have mentors, but nobody knows you like you know you. And you won't be able to pick up the phone in certain situations and scenarios. You're going to have to call on the most powerful coach that you'll ever have. And that's your self-belief, your self-reliance, your self-awareness. That's the champ. That's the inner coach. So go through this exercise. Create that version of you that you deserve and desire to be, that one that you'll chase for the rest of your life. And you'll get close and you'll nip on their heels. But the truth be told, you don't want to catch them, because that means you stopped evolving, you stopped growing. And if you know anything about me, you know I don't believe in that. I believe in consistency. There is no finish line. We will keep going and growing and evolving until the day that we die. You have to. And if you'll develop a powerful, positive inner coach like I've got in the champ, you'll put the chump to bed and they won't bother you anymore. So I know if you'll follow this training, if you'll dive into the processes and you'll really work through the creation of that version of you, and then you'll start making decisions from that place, not from where you are today, but from where you want to be, from where the champ is. Life will change, and life will change for you in a massive way, and it will become abundant, and it'll become awesome. All right. Love you. See you soon.